Hey you, how you going? I've been thinking about you. Saw you in a dream last night. You, me, Josh, Dave, Nick. We were doing a podcast, you were listening to it. Let's make that dream a reality. Welcome to the Neon City Daily Podcast. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Dave.
And we've got a lot to talk about, guys.
Just not that dream.
Well, we're making it reality right now, David. This is the dream.
Talk has ended. The reality is
It's
here.
very loose, very lucid.
So how's everybody been?
Not bad.
Good
Not
week.
bad.
Yeah, good. Been playing any video games, perhaps?
Oh, we've been playing a fair bit lately, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually a bit of a change. Usually we get on here and we're like, none of us have played much. We don't know what we're doing. Oh, God, it's all gone wrong. Where's the news?
I was worried that we were going to get a reputation for being fake gamers.
Fake game.
Yeah, I don't own a console, though.
These guys aren't real gamers at all. They don't even play video games.
I have a PS3 and a Wii. Come on now.
Wow.
You just
Dave
we
living
have
it up
the
like
consoles,
it's
but
2009.
You can
we
tell
just
Josh
take
is a
photos
real
of us
gamer
posing
because he's,
sexily with them.
Well, you can tell Josh is a real gamer because he's got his head up his own ass.
Oh,
Whoa!
PC gamer, not just gamer.
Coming in strong.
I wondered if anyone had heard my console comment. Turns out Nick had.
He did. He did.
But, you know, now that they let the console peasants play with us PC guys, we've been hitting some Payday together, Sea of Thieves.
That didn't have anything to do with it because Payday's in crossplay.
Nothing to do with it at all.
I take it back. We've been playing Sea of Thieves, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've really hit crossplay, actually, because, we did play Payday too, though, for the first time in years for most of us.
Yeah, man.
Which
Yeah.
For
that
the
was
first time
fun.
ever, in my case.
Yeah, and Dave for the first time at all.
What did you think of it, David?
It is good fun. You know,
Did
just
you feel like Robin Hood,
murdering.
like Jamie promised?
Well, you kind of have to justify it somehow, like murdering hundreds of police. There's got to be some justification in there somewhere.
They're the bad ones.
I think you should, next time we play it, be a pacifist.
Look,
Just
the way
stand
I
there
play,
and
it's going to be a
refuse to
similar
fight.
number of kills. It's okay.
all you got to do, Dave, is just equip the boxing glove and just use that as your weapon against the
No.
cops for everything.
Can I keep shaking my maraca?
Someone with lots of cash
would
trying
work.
to pay some reparations on that business.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Here's some money for their family.
It's for all of those thousands of lives we've already ruined after one night of playing the game. Here's some
Yeah,
cash.
we would owe money.
Yeah, still, I feel like at the end.
But it's certainly a lot of fun to play it with you guys. Like, it's a fun multiplayer game.
Oh, yeah, it's great fun.
I hadn't played it in, I think it was like 3 years.
Yeah,
Something
about
like
that.
that. They've added so much to it, and I'm just, for a game that is the age it is, I think it's, a good 7-8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
maybe? It's
Oh,
somewhere
Something
around
like
there.
that.
least,
It's been,
yeah.
it's been
But-
around for a long time.
It's been around for a pretty long time, and it's just, it's got some good content still hitting it.
It was on the 360,
So-
right?
Yeah, well, on the 360.
Yeah, so
That
it's
was when I
made,
first started it.
this is like an intergenerational game. So it's been going for a long time. They're still updating it, which I'm honestly shocked about because I heard that Starbreeze was basically on the cusp of bankruptcy. So I don't know if they've just kind of taken what resources they had and gone, okay, we're just going to push out more stuff for Payday, and that can kind of be our cash cow while we make something that isn't a highly wasteful VR title.
Well, I think Payday 3's happening, isn't it? That was rumoured to.
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
Not if
Yeah,
they're broke.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I hope they got some money stashed because I thought I saw something about that a couple months back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they lost a lot of money on Raid because that really didn't take off.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you? No, it's okay. It's okay.
There was an article by Polygon back in October last year saying that it's coming by 2023.
Right.
So
Okay, so there's
yeah.
there's a while.
I'm going to call it Duke Nukem until I see actual gameplay.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of fair in this point, especially if I don't know. Payday 2 is just, I assume, such a good cash cow for them because it's still going. So
Yeah. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
more
they're still
recently,
throwing
just
out.
in answer to your question, or your comment, Jamie, about them going broke,
Hmm.
end of February this year, Starbreeze have raised more than $5 million to fund the development of games, with the production of Payday 3 still a significant factor behind doing so.
wow.
Man,
So it looks like
5
they've,
million.
got some, I don't know, venture capitalists or something going on there, but
Yeah.
they've found some money and
yeah, that's good because
Whoa.
they were up the creek for a bit there.
it's weird because, well, I guess there's not really a lot of microtransactions. Like Payday 2 is probably not making a huge amount of money anymore.
It's mostly just the DLC, like those little DLC packs that you see, I think.
Yeah.
There's not really microtransactions as such. It's mostly just like those on the Steam page. If you go and take a look at that, just truckload
Yeah.
of DLC that they've just put out.
Yeah, and I think the way they're kind of making that okay is that even though there's like a ton of DLC that you can get for the game now, they've consolidated a lot of it into the Legacy Pack.
Mm.
And so if you were a newcomer, like say Dave is, and you're like, I want to have all the DLC stuff, then you could go grab the Legacy Pack for not very much at all, I don't think. And then they're still releasing additional stuff that's outside of that. So you're basically caught up and you can just buy more DLC as it comes.
I think I got, because I gifted Dave that earlier this week, because I was like, yeah, we need to play it, because I got pumped about it. But I think along with the mainline game, I think I gifted him whatever the latest pack was with the heist that came out.
Okay.
And it had like the heist and I think a couple of other bits of DLC to go with it. I think that's where he got his maracas that when I was looking back at the stream I saw, and I was like, where are mine? I was like, I don't have them. But yeah, I kind of like gifted him that. But yeah, like that's it though. Like that was, I kind of sent him that, and if he wants all the rest of it, all he's got to do is grab that legacy pack, and that's all that stuff in the middle of it.
Yeah. And the nice thing about it is that if one person has the DLC heists, other people don't need to buy it. As long as one person has the heist, it's open to everybody in the party. So that's like a really cool way for you to go, oh, I like this heist. I play this heist a lot. If you move into a party with different friends who have different DLC and no one has that one, you might go, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to drop like $10 to get that heist or however much it is.
Yeah.
It's a good model. I like it.
Yeah.
Apparently just going down the rabbit hole a bit is to find out why they're in such financial dire straits. Turns out they got fined heavily for insider trading.
Oh, that's
wow.
Yeah, so somewhat self-inflicted there.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, that's that's hitting yourself in the face.
Yeah.
They're also doing
realistically.
that developing like a VR headset as well and doing like these other
really?
games.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
no,
there's like
they're doing their
Star
own
VR
headset.
or something like that. It was meant to be like that you can actually buy the headset in Payday to put on your character as a mask.
I did see it in there. I thought it might have just been a generic, but I guess
No,
it was
that
one.
was their proprietary VR, and their whole deal was that like we want to make it so that when you put on a VR headset, there's no kind of like there's no blinders on. You have like a full field of view. And
okay.
so that's why the whole thing was kind of like, slanted and sticking out to the side, whereas
It's not a bad idea.
no, it's a good idea, but it probably maybe a little overzealous in the way that they were doing it. I don't know.
According to
Like,
Steam
be-
charts, they have for an average of 25,000 players per month.
Yeah,
Sweet.
okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's just, they've still got a
Without
community.
anything to
so
reference it against, I'd assume it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still a community, regardless. Like, I know games that I've played games that came out, a couple months back, and I try to play them, and they haven't got that, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it sounds like they were doing pretty well until they kind of just like bit themselves in the butt a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in June 2017, but they went to 247,000 concurrent peak players.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was when they bought their own IP back. Because
okay.
I don't know if you remember, they actually got bought by, it got taken over by their publisher at the time, and I've forgotten who that was.
Over something? Or
Yeah.
I saw the I saw
Someone,
them
yeah.
mentioned, yeah.
But
Starbreeze was the publisher, and Overkill were the
Okay.
studio that were making Payday.
Yeah, because I know that it got taken over by someone, and that sat there for a while. Everyone was mad about like the addition of almost transaction-y things in there. And
Oh,
then,
yeah, they had loot boxes.
Yeah, and then they basically got themselves out of that and back, and then that's when everyone went back to it and just flooded it again.
Yeah, they got loot boxes, and then they got rid of the loot boxes, and people were happy because the loot boxes were so bad, because you would get them in like a roll, and then you had to get a drill to open the loot box.
Yeah, you had to get a drill or a key or
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of publishers biting themselves in the ass, how about that Last of Us 2 situation?
Oh.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a source on it, but the rumor was it was a disgruntled employee.
I believe it.
Leaking the entire game.
The whole situation, the situation was that from the rumor that the employer who leaked everything was basically going like, hey, times are tough. We're not paid that much at the studio. We get our money from the bonus after the game has come out. Can we get the bonus early so that we can, actually pay off stuff and survive?
But the best way to get paid less forever.
Naughty Dog said no, but they said yes to having like senior members of staff get their bonus early. So what this is here is like, this guy's gone like, I understand that I'm risking financial ruin here. However, if I release all this stuff, they'll release the game faster, and then the other guys will get their bonus. Because at the rate that they were holding the game back, it was looking like people weren't going to get a bonus until May next year. Yeah, because they were thinking about withholding it until holidays. Yeah. So, and I think it's like a 6-month between period before they actually get their bonus from the release of the game.
Oh, yeah, they've got to wait for, like, I think as far as their thing's concerned, it has, like, from what I saw, it basically has X period after launch.
Yeah.
They're projecting
they have a sunset clause.
It to peter out then, and then, then when that peters to that, at that time frame, then that's when we work out the bonuses. So.
But that guy's surely fallen on the sword. Like, that guy will likely never work in the industry again.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, I can almost see him, like, being able to use the fact that he's...
Or girl.
I can see... whoever it was, I can see them not being able to work at a big company ever again. For sure. It almost wouldn't surprise me if they ended up being attached to, maybe a smaller indie company, because
if it was for moral reasons,
would go, we can see that for that reasoning, but I cannot see them being attached to a massive corporate company like that again.
No.
We've heard so much about Naughty Dog lately. It really sounds like the wheels are falling off the company.
Well, so after it was an hour later, they went from an indefinite delay to now I originally noted down July release date, but I actually think it's sooner. I think it's almost a month away now.
Wow. I do remember seeing it and thinking, wow, that's quick. That's a difference.
Yeah. So the gambit worked.
Yeah, it did. It really paid off.
Not for him, but yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, we don't know. We don't know who the person was yet. Like, we're not sure if Naughty Dog knows either. So
yeah, that's true.
Just all comes down to was it worth it? Which it looks like for the Naughty Dog crew, it looks like it probably was worth it.
And potentially the gamers, but you would just hope that they're not rushing it out the door now.
Yeah, you know that it's complete.
I think it's basically done, but Naughty Dog were going, we're going to delay the release of the game because physical copies, we're not going to sell as many as we can, because we can't get physical copies into people's hands because all the stores are closed. So it was purely a profit move.
Physical at the minute,
I still do wonder what kind of contribution brick and mortar stores make to overall game sales now.
Well, I mean, a lot still, particularly in America, where internet is not as, it's not reliable. You get like some areas that have really good net, and then some just have like shithouse internet. So brick and mortar still contribute a lot to their sales at the end of the day. So that's why they were going, well, we'll wait till the brick and mortar places are open again, and then we'll release it during like a hype time, like the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, GameStop tried.
Yeah,
GameStop tried to be an essential service. So.
They tried.
They did. Yeah,
there's no denying it makes
their hands.
Good business sense.
Yeah,
but when your model for employee income, a significant portion of it is reliant on the game releasing.
Yeah.
Then you do have to balance overall profits by releasing it versus your employees' financial well-being, I suppose.
And it is screwed up.
You've got a duty of care there at that point that you've got to factor in, and they clearly didn't.
Yeah.
It's also screwed up that bonuses still rely on Metacritic scores.
Oh, yeah, that's a nightmare.
You got to get an 85 or more, otherwise no bonuses, boys.
How mad has everyone that put any actual work into World of Warcraft Remastered got to be because of that?
Oh, dude.
Or Warcraft 3.
Yeah, Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I think that's what Nick meant.
That's the one. Yeah.
I hear that those developers were just shot and buried in a shallow grave.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They're in North Korea now on a pleasure train.
They're buried in Nevada.
Yeah, along with the ET cartridges.
A lot
of them have been dug up now.
But yeah,
there's a space though.
There's if they've dug the ET cartridges out, then they've got somewhere to put the developers from Warcraft 3 Reforged. Those poor guys. Because that's dirty to me. That you can run, if you can't run bonuses and stuff like that from just something that's just such at the mercy of just mad people, if you know what I mean. You can't go, your monetary value for this item is subject to whether or not Greg next door thinks you did a good job.
And he's just had a bad day.
Yeah, he's mad. His internet was funky when he was downloading it, and he isn't quite sure how it works properly. He didn't read the tutorial tip message.
Is it user reviews or is it critic reviews?
It's critic reviews. User reviews don't matter.
Yeah.
So how do I then register myself as a critic if I'm a game dev and try and skew the numbers a little bit?
Trying to even it out.
Well, the thing is that they have to... Metacritic just basically goes across all the aggregate sites and goes, hey, this is a review site, a recognized large enough review site. Here is their score. And even if it's an out of 5 score, they take that and they convert that into an out of 100. And then they just add that together and they math it. And then publishers go I'm sorry, that's an 84.5, not an 85. You don't get a bonus.
You don't get a
Obsidian.
I mean, the whole payment system of bonuses, just pay people for their work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because unless they have artistic direction or any kind of direction over the product, it's a bit hard to say that. If Jamie wrote a story and then I designed it or made the game based around that story, but it sucked, I'm the one being punished.
You're saying that I would write a shitty story and then you would make a game that is bad because my story is not good?
In my head, I thought, you're the artist, I should be writing the story and you should be drawing it, but...
I get what you're saying. It's
but it still stands. The decisions aren't mine to make. I am a grunt, essentially.
Yeah, if you're not making the decisions, your monetary income from this shouldn't be based on the decisions someone above you made.
No. You should be paid for the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. You should pay your workers a fair wage for their work and not dangle the carrot of, hey, if you do really good in the next 3 years, maybe you'll get some money.
Standard.
Yeah,
we'll bring you up to a normal living wage if this game does incredibly well.
Oh, thank you.
After 3 years.
Yeah, and then you say thank you, master. Yes, and
we just all Oliver Twist. Just please, sir, can I have some more?
Can I have a quarter? A quarter. Get out of here.
Nick begging for more leads me to the most amazing segue. To
take it.
Nick's virtual booby addiction.
Nick, why are you so addicted to virtual boobies?
See, I forgot that was on the list.
So during the week, just for a bit of background for everybody, we were joking around. Well, I hope we were joking because we were assigning each other titles in the sense that I'm apparently the horror guy because after my Outlast play, which anyone who has seen it can obviously see that I was in great discomfort. And as soon as it ended, Jamie and Nick both gifted me more horror games. So then suddenly I was the horror game guy.
You're the horror guy now.
Dave was the driving sim guy.
Yeah.
Nick was, I don't know what you were, Jamie. You were the fighting guy, I think, the action game guy.
Yeah.
And then Nick, just
Nick's
unbeknownst to me,
man.
like I know that you enjoy a bit of virtual storytelling, but my eyes were opened, and you are now the virtual titty.
Nick enjoys deep plot in his games.
I'm not gonna lie. I've got a pretty vast collection of visual novels on my Steam list, but I will also preface this with the fact that every year when Jamie gifts me more, they go into the pile.
If you'd like to learn more about that, you can listen to our last Neon City Daily After Dark podcast for the full story.
That would be an amazing trip.
I'm not gonna lie. There's probably going to be some visual novel streaming soon, because why not? It's all there. It's an untapped market.
Reasons. Yeah.
No, you can't.
But you say it's untapped, but that I look at the Steam charts, or the top selling, or the trending. Always a visual novel. Like, they're huge.
Oh, yeah, no, they get bored. They're massive.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to me, because I've only seen horrific ones. So
it's really interesting, actually, because I have I have the adult filter turned off on Steam. And every time that there's like in the new and trending game, there's always like a really bad porn game. Like there was one that I saw the other day. I think it was called like Night Drive or something like that. And it's like there's like they have like a trailer for it, and it's just like stills of just 3D porn. So someone's just like gotten some models, rendered them out, doing various things. And then, like, the trailer had no audio. And I'm like, that's really weird. And then I looked at the reviews, and someone else is going like, this game has no audio. It is completely silent. And I'm like, holy crap. This is on the trending list on Steam.
Wow.
And it doesn't have any sound design.
You know that's sold well.
I don't. I'd love to know the numbers that it did.
People are getting bored in isolation.
Oh, they're not even bored in isolation. People just like to look at
We
titties.
like to think that they are, Dave, but then there's people like Nick who look forward to coming home.
Yeah,
Don't open my eyes, guys. Don't open my eyes. I don't want to know.
There's an
I'm not
interesting.
gonna lie, I'm wondering how similar the streams would be if, like, versus Josh playing horror games and Dave playing horrible titty porn games.
There is an interesting cross section of visual novels that aren't necessarily titty games, and visual novel games that are complete titty games that kind of like they intersect with each other, and so they draw the same crowd almost. But at the same time, it's a massive step for the genre because like those visual novel games for a long time, they were like, there's no way that this would sell in the Western market. But look at it now.
Nah. See, I just to drive your point home as to that cross section of games, I have installed what may be a centerpiece for that. Mm-hmm. Because when you first started saying we need to look for games to stream, you can do all your Sakura games. Oh, they're banned on Twitch. I'm like, oh, and you know what? Fine. I'll do it. I'll install one. We'll see how it goes. And I installed a game called Love Ribbon. Okay,
it already sounds terrible.
I haven't started playing this game yet because I'm like, I got to go in fresh. I can't know anything. And the problem is, I went and looked this up because I was like, wait, I guess I've got to see if I'm going to get us like a strike or something. So it turns out that Love Ribbon, the premise is that you're a chick, which is it's kind of rare for these games because normally you're like a 16-year-old male, but you're a like high school age girl whose stepsister, you for some or half sister or something, you somehow have like such a strained, non-existent relationship with her, that she suddenly lives with you and goes to your school.
That's the
thus romance blossoms. And I'm just like, that's a weird premise. I'm not reading any more about that. I'll see how it goes.
Can I just read quickly something? So I went onto Steam and looked at the top new releases, and sure enough, there's a game there called Bee War.
Okay.
And this is just, this is not child friendly. Okay. This is
cover your eyes.
Yeah, this is literally what it says about the game. Story. Bee history, 20XX, the bee kingdom is attacked by insects. Not only the honeybees, but the queen bee also fought, but this was in vain and they were defeated. The bee kingdom, attacked by the insects, was under dominance for many years after that, and they were continually defiled. With a life of sexual slavery and continued rape, also forced into manual labour as a worker bee.
Very cool.
Bee workers 20XX were the Dark Ages. However, one girl has stood up to recover the bee kingdom. The girl, using a poisonous barb protruding from her ass as a weapon, fights alone.
What?
Look, it's a kind of art, you got to admit.
Dude, the screenshots, like, how...
Is it just like unfiltered porn?
Dude, it's literally a chick... Oh, I'm not even going to describe it, because it's literally just depicting rape of someone by an insect.
Cool.
Wow.
Nick, let's just, slightly askew from that. You're talking about Love Riven. I think the game that you should really play is Love at First Sight, which I know you have because it says you own it, and I remember gifting it to you.
I was going to say, do you remember sending it to me? Because
let me just quickly read the description here. After falling in love at first sight with the Sashi Usi, an injury-ridden, single-eyed high school girl, the protagonist tries to win over her lonely and isolated heart. A pure, heartwarming romance game where the apple of your eye only has one eye. How can you know that? You romance a Cyclops.
It's so sweet.
My one saving grace here is that most of these games aren't very long.
Nick, you're a sick man. You're sick in the head. You need help.
You never know, Josh. Maybe you'll see them and you'll go, wait, that's the one for me.
Dude, I've just
maybe
gifted
Josh
you
will have
P-War.
Love at First Sight. Oh, dude!
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Josh.
No worries.
Good job.
That's another one that Logan's going to look at when you're long dead and go like, Dad, why?
Dad, why? I've inherited your Steam list and it's all hurt.
Nick's on his deathbed and he calls us over and he goes, delete my Steam account.
and I'll look down and I'll whisper, no.
I was going to say,
We can still make quality content based on
Jamie
that.
will make sure it happens. Because, censors can't stop horrible porn games on Steam, apparently.
No, they can't.
Oh, wow. The developer is called Aphrodite. They've only released one game.
Yeah, is it V-War?
Yeah, is it?
The publisher has published a lot of these. Oh, my gosh.
I mean...
Oh, yeah, if you see a publisher for one of these games, they're usually in there.
Yeah, it's
They've
just
been
like the
doing
thing.
this for a while.
They must make their money back because there's so many and they're just cranked out.
That was, I think, what I was most surprised about. When you started sending them to me and Steam started saying, you might like these too, and I went, just the fact that they were so constant.
Well, dude,
There is just so many.
A visual novel is actually super easy to make in terms of programming. You just need a horny artist and a horny writer. Maybe even just
PowerPoint.
one, and he will do both.
Yeah.
Here's a game called The Diary of a
Young
Young Cheating Married Woman, Yuka.
I wonder what that's about.
My goodness. The Shameless
Clearly
Squadron Pink
international
Woman.
espionage.
All right, Josh, you're really... I must protest, Josh.
I'm not going down this rabbit hole.
You are stepping on the After Dark crew's toes here by discussing this right now.
I feel like I need a bath.
We don't go over game news on our podcast. You shouldn't go over horrible shit that you find at the bottom of the Steam list in this.
It's nowhere near the bottom, and that's what's concerning me.
Just out of interest, what sort of price point are these masterpieces at?
It's all over the place.
It can range from like $1.50 to $90, Dave.
Yeah, I've seen them at full game $99.95 price turning up.
This publisher has released about 24, and the most expensive at the moment is $14.50.
Yeah, they're bringing over some visual novels from Japan that are actually like there's a lot of work put into them, and they have 80-hour stories of ton of content, and they're but they're not focused on diddling. They're focused on an actual story that maybe there's a diddle scene.
There's an actual game in there.
Yeah,
Well, it's an
there
actual
tends to
story.
be actual stories.
Yeah.
In,
What was the
And
game,
some
of
Jamie?
them-
This is a bit of an assault. Well, not really. I believe it was a visual novel. I remember it's a schoolgirl. You played it a fair bit. It wasn't. It wasn't.
See, Josh
not
is just
started
dumping you
well.
under the bus now.
I'm not going to help myself by saying, I'm sorry, you need to be more specific.
The first thing I thought was he's not going to know what it is just because of that. There's too many.
Continue your description.
I don't know. That's about it. It was you were a schoolgirl. You were role playing as her. You had relationships with other people. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking
I'll
about.
actually
find it.
don't.
I'll make it my life's mission to find it after.
Oh, yeah,
this.
go through my Steam list.
Oh,
You'll
yeah,
get
I
it in
don't-
no time.
It's going to take a while.
It's just, you'll get down there, you'll end up finding like a one that just has a store page that looks vaguely familiar, and you'll go,
Game
there it
you're
is.
role playing as a schoolgirl. Like, what genre was it?
I don't know. One of the Japanese or
You're
What
again. That
was
doesn't
Jamie
help.
doing in it, do we know?
no. I just watched him and thought, "What are you doing?"
Was it 2D or 3D?
Wow.
3D, I believe.
That actually narrows it down a bit.
Yeah, but not
A
much.
little
I got
bit,
no
not
idea.
I
enough.
believe it was first person.
First person schoolgirl.
Anyway,
I got no idea.
speaking of adult only, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Little less booby, probably more drugs, but it did get a rating in Australia.
Probably actually more booby, really.
More booby than expected,
If we-
probably.
Yeah.
But the point is that it did get a rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were, I was terrified.
Mm.
And because I'm just going to read out before we continue on, and this is one of the reasons why I was worried, is we got the ratings, like what was listed as being in there from another country, and you basically run down the list, and it's cruelty, suicide, intense sexual relations, mutilations, and consumption of illicit drugs.
Now, I would
That's what
also
I'm
like to.
against.
After this stuff was released, I think it was like the CEO of CD Projekt Red did state, and you might want to beat this, Josh, we didn't come to f*** around.
Yeah, you
So-
surprised we don't f*** around.
Yeah.
They have said, by their own admission, it's the most explicit game to date.
I mean, they haven't published that many.
No.
To be fair.
but-
I mean, if
yeah.
people are thinking it's Witcher-esque, just boobies in the bathtub, then I think they're going to get a rude shock.
No,
Yeah.
there's going to be like a cyber vagina with like extendo spider legs that impales a man.
You think the destroyer from the first Borderlands game was a bit erotic? Just wait for this.
It's going to be
It's
like
gonna
watching
swallow
Wicked City.
Billings whole. Yeah. No, I mean, well, I think, what was it the other day as well? It was not long after that, and this is what also like fueled my fire of being a little bit worried. Still, was there was I can't remember where it was, what country did it, but there was basically someone had set up like a drive-through strip club. Where they're all in quarantine, they've all got their social distancing stuff going, but you could like drive your car through between these barriers and like just hang out and watch strippers on poles and like chuck money at them and
I read
stuff.
about this. Yeah.
But someone said like one of the guys from Cyberpunk like retweeted it. And I think someone else from another journalist site said, "Oh, you're doing research." They just answered with, "Yes, everything's research." So that to me was just a little bit like, you know what? I know that was a joke. I know you were making funnies, but at the same time, I'm expecting just rampant that in your game.
Yeah,
So-
life imitates art. Art
Yeah.
imitates life.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be a pretty explicit game. I think we all assumed that was what was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, well, it's got Keanu Reeves in it, man.
How could it not be explicit? With Keanu Reeves there.
It has to be explicit.
I mean,
yeah.
hopefully no one's dog dies this time, but
No, exactly.
I don't know.
Unless that's
yeah.
the whole
You want
premise.
people's dogs? If that becomes the entire premise of Keanu Reeves' interaction with the player characters in Cyberpunk 2077, I will genuinely be impressed.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction because I already know that Keanu Reeves is playing the character Johnny Silverhand.
Okay, hold on. Before you
Yeah.
make a prediction, I feel like you have lived a very risk-averse life so far in Neon City Daily history. I think you need to put something on the line.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I do feel like of the four of us, I think me and Josh have both taken the most hits so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Sucked
I don't know.
Jess came in to steal some of my chocolate and it's eaten. She thought, I'll get him while he's podcasting because there's no way he can stop me.
Anyway, I'm going to continue my prediction here.
Yep.
Because I reckon at the start of Cyberpunk, you were going to actually be Johnny Silverhand's dog, and then you get killed, and then he has to bring you back to life, and it's a whole big thing.
Right.
Now, see, the timing of that joke would have been way better if you hadn't interrupted me to tell me that I need to put something on the line.
I was going to say, I don't think Jamie planned for this. Yeah.
My point still stands, I believe.
What point?
That we have all left our comfort zone in the sake of entertainment. You're the exception. Oh, and Dave, but I'm still thinking of ways that Dave doesn't enjoy gaming, so...
Yeah, I think that's kind of the key here, where you're just like, what do you do to Dave, though?
Yeah. We'll find it, and we will exploit it for the viewers.
I'm sure he will.
The thing is, guys, you've gone willingly to slaughter, and I haven't because I don't want to. So
because you're a spoil sport.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
And proud.
Yeah, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, yes.
I watch you guys do these things you don't like. I'm like, cool. Keep lining them up, boys.
Oh, and yet, you still buy me horror games. You're just perpetuating the cycle, and yet you won't take part in the cycle.
That, to be fair, that was I got you Alien Isolation. It was $2. I don't care if you play it or not. It was just $2 for a joke.
I don't even know what Nick got me. I'd never heard of it.
Silence of Sleep. The Silence of Sleep. That was $1.47. So,
well, nice to know you can put a value on scaring me.
$1.47.
Yeah, $2.
Together, that's $3.47.
That means
Buddy
Jamie
boy
likes me more.
Or is it the other way around, really?
Dude, I could have bought something from the dollar menu at McDonald's twice, but instead, I dipped into my pocket, while unemployed, I might add, and got my good friend a nice game. It's highly reviewed.
Yeah, but
it's a good game. I'll check it out there.
Actually, you know what? Freaking, like, some people have actually, they found in Alien Isolation, I think that there was like some VR code that was unused, and they reverse engineered it so that they could play that in VR.
No.
And I can't think of anything worse.
No.
Nice.
I get scared on my monitor with horror games on it.
I've got some research to do after the podcast.
I'm not going to immerse myself in VR. Dude, I've packed my VR. My VR is away.
You should fish out the VR though, so you can try Payday in VR because it changes things.
Yeah, I am keen to try that actually.
I had a great time with
one
that.
hand and a sword in the other. So.
Yeah, it was so good.
And the fact that you can pick locks and just turn around.
Yeah,
that's symbolic.
I can do this without looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's also really good when you're getting stunned by a taser because you can just look at the taser and you're like, and shoot them.
What?
Yeah,
wow. Man. Josh is already unboxing his VR.
Yeah.
Reaching over for the shield guys, and so reaching over the shield was very impressive. I was like, what is Jamie doing over there?
Walk up to a shield, just reach over. I just walk up to a shield and I just like reach my arm over the top and put the gun to their head and just poop. They don't know what hit them.
That reminds me, Nick, we need to play some Siege.
We do need to play some Siege. Yeah, we need to get that up. I do. See, I forgot about the model they went with when they made Siege, and I obviously bought like the cheapest version of Rainbow Six Siege, that I could at the time, however long ago. And so I've got like one attacker and one defender, and the character classes are pretty, like your characters and what weapons they have are a pretty big deal in that game.
Yeah, and they don't have a rotating roster, do they, of free champions?
No, I'm pretty sure not.
Operators.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure not. I'm pretty sure they just have those guys that you get when you start.
So you're going to either have to grind out best you can using just those two, some in-game currency.
Debating about was, do I grind or do I just give them the $5? So I'll see how I'll make up my mind.
Yeah, just get your main attacker, defender, and then use them to grind out the in-game.
That's all I want.
What are you going to do if someone picks your main attacker or main defender when you're in the game, though?
I'll do what everyone else does, and I'll whinge.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick has left the lobby.
The sheer amount of times I've seen people start a vote to kick because they wanted a character that someone took, even though it will not help after the game starts.
Have you played ranked at all?
Not on my PC, no. I've played one on the X phone.
What is your rank?
I can't. It was last season that I played.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know when the season ends, but I thought I'd try ranked, and I got silver 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then I immediately played one game, and I was the last person left, which I hate because then everyone's just spectating,
staring at you, looking through your eyes.
Yeah, the useful people will try and feed you intel, but then everyone else will just like critique or criticize straight up.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Oh, no wonder you're stuck in silver." I'm like, "Oh." only
been
for like an hour, but
any kind of like team game that has a rank option in it, it becomes really unfun really quick because people take it too seriously and they're not in it to enjoy themselves. They're in it to like work.
I will admit that I do tend to avoid ranked. I will I play a lot of the casual, a lot of the quick.
Yeah,
and but even on my preferred account with everything I've got that I know, I jumped in a bunch of times with a couple other people that I knew that were playing it. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll go and join you. But that was the thing, though. I was on a team with them. Yeah. So that was the level of interaction that I had with the other players. Yeah. But I going into a ranked with randoms is just a really easy way to get a message from a 9-year-old saying he fucked my mum.
Yeah,
it's honestly 50-50 for me at this point because some people are genuinely helpful.
Yeah,
if not borderline supportive. Like if you do, die or because there's no real way to stuff up unless you're trolling. You're there to do your best, and if someone, unfortunately, there's not many people that will recognise that. But
no, everyone expects you to be on the same level.
A gamer can dream.
Yeah. It's mostly because a lot of the people that are the negative Nancy's of the community are usually the loudest members. So.
Yeah, but I would only play a game like that, in ranked, if I had an entire group of my friends.
I totally forgot to look at this from the sphere of you're used to the community League of Legends.
Oh, dude, Siege is heaven. It's literally the nicest place I've ever been.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah, no. Water off a duck's back. I've been playing League for 10 plus years now, and I've seen it all.
You know what else is like the water off a duck's back? It's like the water in Assassin's Creed Valhalla because the Vikings sail on it.
You should have just left the segues to me.
Nah, because I wanted to get away from this conversation because I knew where it was going.
All I know
about
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is that it's an Assassin's Creed game called Valhalla, so I assume it's going to be like the Egypt one, but with Norse.
See, I watched all they've really done so far is they did an art reveal, which was good, because they had a guy literally just streaming in real time, putting together the art for whatever promo they were going to use.
Yeah. And
he left the character till last, so you couldn't see the theming on him. But there was Norse boats in there, so I was like, yeah, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, everyone was debating about it, and everyone was screaming at each other that it can't be Vikings, because it's obviously not, and then it was, and I was like, the internet's stupid. But yeah, that was a good way to reveal it, I think, that they put together the promo art. But then they put out a cinematic trailer to basically set the tone and the setting up. And I kind of hate to say it.
It was well received.
Really. It looks good, but obviously it's all cinematic. But it looks good, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. That whole Norse and Britain, Britannia invading Dark Ages era, I really get into that stuff. So I'm pretty keen.
That said, haven't the Assassin's
problem-
Creed... Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was just the problem with that for me then becomes that I went, oh, hey, I should probably play Odyssey, and I installed it and I played it, and I was like, oh, I hope it's better than this.
Well, I was about to say,
Yeah.
haven't they got progressively better? Because I know Black
They have,
Flag
yeah.
was...
Black Flag was the best.
A lot of people like that, especially the ship-to-ship combat, which I think
Yeah,
they're basing
Black
a
Flag.
new game
They're
off, aren't
making
they?
just a straight-up pirate game. Well, they've been making it for years now. They're making a straight-up pirate game because they kind of realised, I think, after everyone's screaming, why don't you just make Pirate Game X instead of Assassin's Creed Pirate Edition?
Yeah.
Because Black Flag is blatantly one of the best,
Yeah.
like, Assassin's Creed games. For sure, Realsies Makio.
Now, I haven't played it
it's
since
amazing.
number 1. And,
Wow.
And, so, is it still
It's very
all
different to
about...
that now.
But because it was always about a guy thrown into a fancy time machine VR
Oh,
thing.
dude, don't even worry about the story anymore. That thing is
No,
clusterfuck.
yeah, no, that is
Right,
dead. They
okay.
got to a point where I don't think they could afford the voice actors for everyone anymore, or they didn't want to pay them.
Right.
So they basically just murdered people and off-screen killed people and decided they were done. And so now it's literally just a case of, like the easiest example is, because I saw it last night when I tried it, was Odyssey. You're some archaeology chick. You have dug up a bit of a spear. You've gone, there's DNA on this for no reason. You've chucked it in a thing. The animus that they use to get to these genetic memories is at the point in the game's like main, near future story. It's at a point where people can like buy it and possess it and use it like a home console.
Right, okay.
I'm going to
So-
say, I wish that they would just get rid of that anima shit.
Why don't they
give me
just
a
set
game
it
where I'm
just
in
playing
the
a
setting?
Viking.
Yeah,
Why
just put
bother?
just base
Yeah.
it in that setting. That would make sense.
Because that's now the problem too, is that with that whole like the what I call the Desmond Miles portion of the story,
Mm-hmm.
where it's him going into the Animus and his ancestors, it doesn't exist now, and because of that, and because they have gone, yeah, we'll focus more on keeping you in there in this time period that we've picked for this game, the whole like Templar assassin thing feels so weirdly just dicked in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, just make a good game in this setting, man.
I do own
Stop.
the
Just-
Egypt one. Is that worth playing?
Origins is, as far as I know, it's pretty good. I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
I played
It's
a
kind
bit.
of Dark Soulsy now, like to the point where it's like there's like they went to this
Nah.
weird shift where they went like we want to kind of have like an RPG with Dark Souls-esque combat and controls, but like you do damage to a thing and numbers fly over their head instead of I've stabbed the
Yeah,
guy.
they just
he
put in
is
an
stabbed.
RPG system.
And
But
I
you
feel like
can
that's
still assassinate.
overused.
Assassination thing, that's still all there. But yeah, when you're doing like combat, it just falls back to
I think I
Yeah,
played Origins
RPG
for about
system.
like an hour and a half and went like, nah.
I want Prince of Persia. I want a new Prince of Persia.
Yeah, that'd be good.
yeah, I'd be keen for that.
Like
Yeah.
even a
I'd be keen for that.
remastered
And-
Sands of Time would be good.
Man, I haven't played
Yeah.
that like since the original rotoscoped one.
Oh wow,
Good times.
that's what I didn't finish. I'll give you that.
I could, and I was really bad at it as a kid.
They did
Oh, yeah.
make
Yeah,
a
I
fair
just
few of
couldn't do
those.
it.
Didn't
The
they?
boat
They really-
always got away from me.
But yeah, so that Assassin's Creed, the yearly Assassin's Creed, I think is on the way. I think it's set for holiday 2020.
Yeah, okay. They're going the way
that
because
kind
it's
of
Ubisoft, isn't it?
ambiguous-
Yeah.
So they're going the
Yeah,
way
it's
like a
Ubisoft.
Far Cry. This is going to be a
Yeah.
yearly
But
thing.
they
Mhm.
they are doing like something I like though, where if you well, I know it's happening that way on Xbox anyway. If I pre-ordered it now for the Xbone and I got it for the Xbone, if I grab a Series X later, I can just own it there too. It just goes to my account.
Mm.
Very nice.
So I would be interested to see. It does say that it's Play Anywhere, so I assume that it will also be for the PC version.
That's a
assume,
Microsoft decision, though,
but I
wasn't
haven't
it?
seen it like stated. Yeah,
I think Microsoft are wearing the cost for their launch games if you
That
own them
wouldn't
on
surprise me.
previous
But
console.
if they have that Play Anywhere to it, if there's a PC version, I'm pretty sure it can be played there as well. So I'd assume that if I just dump the pre-order money now on like the vague store page that's there, I'd just know that I'd own it on whatever I got down the track.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I like that like cohesive feasibility in there.
It's been a
It's
while
going to
since I've
encourage
played a good...
console sales.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've played a good AAA game. Actually, I am tempted. I do like the Viking era. Big fan of TV show, but yeah,
I like the TV show. I was just mad that it was made by the History Channel and people thought it was on the money.
Yeah. Mind you, I did stop watching it after a certain main character died.
I already know what you're talking
Ragnar?
about. I can guarantee it.
Spoiler alert, it was Ragnar.
Ragnar from the Rune franchise, who you'll also be playing in the new Assassin's Creed game.
I'm not going to lie, it does look like it. If you watch that cinematic trailer, you're just like, oh yeah, they watch Vikings.
I like how Vikings is... Every Viking game or movie or TV show, they always live in the same village.
Yeah,
you notice it's always the same village that's nested in.
They live in the Vikingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like a cove with a mountain behind it.
Yeah.
It's every time, guaranteed. And you're like, where is your goddamn farm? And they're like, oh, probably over there.
But anyway, guys, Vikings are in the past, but you know what's in the now? Streets of Rage 4.
That is very in the now.
Although they're very much going for the...
straight up in the now.
For the past feel.
There is there's a nice little old gameplay meets new aesthetic vibe that's going on that's gelling very well with us. Like Nick and I played it a bit last night on stream, and the game is tight. It is really nice.
Good. It is so satisfying to play. Like everything you do with your character, you know you have done it, and you feel good about it.
What a beautiful return to form.
Every time you get kicked in the teeth, you also feel that. But yeah, it is a great return to like the form that Streets of Rage could have now. They've done so well.
Yeah. Okay. When was the last one that came out?
Oh, 1990s. Yeah,
right, so this really is a revival of a classic series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is a long gone series that has only really appeared in Sega collections and like in old arcade things that you can find on Steam and stuff.
Because
like that.
Street Fighter used to be a linear. Was it?
No.
Street Fighter was always Street Fighter. It was just the first edition of it was whatever that was.
Okay, because I have played a game.
Characters.
I've looked at the gameplay for Streets of Rage, and I never owned. I think it was a Master System.
Was it
Master System and Mega
Drive? Sorry, yeah. Okay, so I must have played one of the early ones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
well, there was, if you had a Master System or a Mega Drive, you could get Streets of Rage.
Yeah, yeah.
What you were thinking, Josh, is that Street Fighter. There was a game called Final Fight that came out that was meant to be a sequel to Street Fighter, but it was so different that they changed it around. I can't remember if it was because there are a lot of characters in Final Fight that went into Street Fighter games later down the track.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to think. I never owned the Mega Drive, but I did during school years. Played with friends on theirs a lot, and definitely remember playing a scroller, walking through streets.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you I will admit, even last night on stream when I was talking about it, I confused Streets of Rage and Final Fight because I was like, wait, is that guy from that, or is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
those brawlers are just so good, and I'm really glad that we're starting to see a resurgence of them. There's been a few here and there, over the years, but yeah.
I really haven't played a solid brawler since the Scott Pilgrim one. I think.
No, what about that Double Dragon game, Double Dragon Neon?
That was a re-release of an older game. Though.
No,
I'm thinking new. So that was late 2000s. That was 13, 14.
The Scott Pilgrim game, I think that came before Neon.
Because I thought that Dungeons and Dragons game was a release of a port, basically, of an old arcade game.
Dungeons and Dragons was, but Double Dragon Neon was an entirely new thing.
Oh, Double Dragon Neon. I thought you said Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
Yeah, no. Double Dragon. I can't remember what was first, but yeah.
Don't know, yeah.
But those two were basically it, though.
Yeah,
for a while.
They did bring out a River City Ransom revival game that was pretty good. There's also River City Girls that came out not that long ago, actually, maybe a few months back. which I've heard good things about, but I just didn't have like the cash to drop on it.
It yet. Yeah.
So there have been, and like and Mother Russia Bleeds was another great brawler that came out.
You mentioned that, but I'd never heard of it. I hadn't heard of it. I forgot to check it afterwards. So.
There's like there are a few different types of brawlers that have kind of sort of slipped out, but there's never a big deal about them, which is a real shame.
No, never. Well, the thing that sucks, I think, about Streets of Rage 4 eating is the main reason that I even found out that it was coming out now was because Nintendo trashed their news about it, where they actually, I think back on the 24th, put out a news thing saying, like, Streets of Rage 4 out now, get it! And everyone went, wait, no, it's not. And the developer apparently woke up, one of the devs actually woke up and saw the news and was just like, wait a minute, no, it's not, that's the 30th.
They did a similar thing with Indivisible on the Switch. They actually released Indivisible on the Switch, and none of the developers knew that was happening. And the version that they put on the Switch was actually like a pre-build, so it wasn't complete. So
yeah, I know they didn't get that far with Streets of Rage 4. They just had a news thing and everyone yelled at them.
Yeah.
I
remember...
that's the better way to go if you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, really.
I was just talking about the Switch and stuff up when it comes to releases. Did Baby Mama Cooking ever...
Cooking Mama?
I don't know anything about. I'm pretty sure that's dead. I hope it is anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard any updates about it.
Yeah, right. But
Cooking
you can't
Mama
buy it.
Cookstar?
Yeah, Cookstar.
But you can't buy it on the digital store. Like it's.
I haven't seen it too.
No, I don't think so.
Every now and then I look. I haven't seen it on the pages, so...
There you go.
Which is okay with me, considering how apparently awful it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I reckon that there are like a bunch of physical copies floating out there that will, when the time is right, will be worth like a crap ton on eBay. But that's probably the last we've seen of it.
$500 game that no one wants. Yeah,
that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, is it sad someone will pay that much money?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I thought you were just like, it's sad we'll never see it. It's like, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to miss the game because I've never played it. And it sounded horrible.
Yeah.
I tell you what's not horrible, though.
Your segues.
Yeah. Is if you've got 10 million people just buying your product, and that's what Microsoft have with Game Pass.
That Game Pass. And not only have they bought into it, it's a subscription service. Every month they get 10 million lots of $15 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's like $15 million.
It's like WoW back in the day. What? It's like WoW back in the Blizzard just printing money when you times the subscribers by the monthly amount. It's
And it's like the thing is too, I that's a really good job. That's a good load of people. And I can't fault the service, which is one of the best things. Like, if I could fault the service and say, it's not worth it, or it's not whatever, like, then I'd be like, oh, God, people are doing that. Because I hate subscription services generally. Like, I'm generally pretty about a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, like, it is genuinely worth it, because you look at the fact that you either, over the course of a year, give them $150, or I buy 1 1/4 games at full price.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's because, their releases that they put on that aren't like, this has been out for 6 years and it's $2 on the store, you can play it now.
Yeah.
They're like, this has just come out, we've made a deal, you can play this with your subscription.
Some of the big players do that. Like, EA is how I played Madden, like the latest and greatest Maddens.
Yeah, right.
But I cancelled whatever the subscription is because...
Origin Access?
Yeah, there wasn't enough to really keep me going back.
Yeah, it's just crappy EA games.
Yeah. That was my problem, was that while I considered it, because yearly I like to play the Maddens and I like the UFC games and that kind of stuff. But that like 1 or 2 games a year for like maybe a couple weeks doesn't make me go... I'll keep hitting it, if you know what I mean. I don't want to keep giving you money when I'm literally going to have dead months or I'm not playing it.
Particularly when something like Andromeda drops and they give you the first 10 hours free. You know that you're not really cracking the market when you...
I'm totally fine with like the program that Xbox has in place, as long as they don't go, here is a game that is exclusive to Game Pass. You needed to play it. As long as there are other avenues to get the game if I want it, because maybe I'll play a game and go, I like this thing, but I don't. A subscription thing is set up where as long as Xbox servers are running, you have it. So I still want to be able to buy a game that I like.
Does it include live? Because don't you need live to play multiplayer and stuff? Yeah.
Because it was you'd buy live and you would give them I think $5 a month for Game Pass.
Yeah,
like $6 or $7 a month, something like that. But yeah, then they actually just went, no, okay, we'll make it a combined like $15 a month, and you just get all of it. So if you have Game Pass, you basically you've got your live, right. You're fine.
Not a bad deal, really.
No, it's good.
Or for Microsoft to get $150 million a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of really trailing in terms of console sales, so this was a good way for them to be competitive and not have to wait for the next generation of hardware to be a thing. So it's worked out really well for them. It was one of those
very
things
much.
I looked at it initially and thought, I don't know if this will work out, because if enough people don't subscribe to it, they are literally going, hey, we're releasing a new game that you can get for $15 basically instead of actually buying it. But because they've got so many people who are paying so much each month, then it totally justifies the whole situation, I think.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
they're
but
making
Phil
enough
Spencer
money
is
to put effort in there.
Phil Spencer's doing a lot of good.
Man, Phil Spencer is good guy Phil. Like, that is who it is. As soon as they got good guy Phil in control of a lot of stuff, he has such a good mind for consumer-based products. For just, like, products that consumers will actually get value from. And, like, every time he talks, I'm just like, I like you. Don't fuck this up, because I'm putting a lot of faith in you. You're making me pretty happy that you're around. Don't fuck it up. This is amazing. Because he was really one of the driving forces behind Xbox consistently, properly making money to continue being even a thing. So
yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how the new Xbox from Microsoft.
It's a new PC, just saying. Yeah.
It is a PC.
It's a genuine mistake, but now the more you think about it, the more accurate.
The more you look at it.
See, as obviously an avid PC gamer, it does concern me a little bit because we've already seen. Well, it's already happening. The general decline in system requirements on PC games because they're all largely based on console ports and things like that. So I do think that we've reached parity when it, like we were saying last week with Crysis, it'll be good to see something make PC hardware sweat again.
You want something to break your machine.
And I don't think the new Xbox or PS5 are going to break that mold. But the more the new PC-like that they become, I think, is a good thing. I don't know. It's a fine line, but
if I remember right, I think the new Xbox is going to try to be pushing ray tracing a lot. So that's going to be something that will,
PS5 will as well, though, won't it? I believe
probably. I don't know. I heard that Sony were kind of like caught off guard with just how high spec the Xbox is.
Yeah, no, they were.
It's going to be interesting.
They are already, as it is, worried about... I think they've tried to word it as they're worried about like the fact that because of the current times we have with people and money and all that kind of stuff, they're worried about the amount of units that would be bought. But they're also... they've kind of locked in for their components almost. So they're also, I think, a little bit worried about like even the components that they're using and wanting to use, they're worried about being able to keep up with making what they can. But I do know that as far as Microsoft were concerned with I don't know whether it's just marketing or not, but with their kind of components and all their stuff for the Xbox Series X, they're basically just sitting there going, yeah, we've got this under control. And I think that was what was worrying a lot of people. Well, worrying Sony anyway about what was happening with their console, because then suddenly you've got this guy, they're sitting there, they're sweating it. They're worried about what they're doing. They're trying to work out what else they can put in there. But then Microsoft's just sitting there with their hand down their pants going, yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, what a time we've had. Am I right? It's just like that dream. Anyway, we'll see you next time, Sleepyhead. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Peace.
Good night.